Hi, Jen Roque here at StampCampWithJen.com. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and welcome to my weekly Facebook Live. Every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I am live right here on Facebook. I hope you'll join me. If you can't join me on Facebook, I also put the replays up every Tuesday at noon Eastern Time, so you can always join me on YouTube watching the replay or on my website watching the video as well. So those of you that were able to see my Facebook post today, I promised a very special card presentation. You're not going to want to miss it. I think you're really going to enjoy it. So we're not going to make one card. We're not going to make two cards. We're going to make 3 different cards today. So I think you're really going to enjoy it. And they're all very easy. And I'm going to show you exactly how we did them. So these cards I actually made for my in-person Stampin' Bingo event that we held this past weekend. We had loads of fun. I gave away probably over $500 worth of prizes at our in-person Stampin' Bingo. It was loads of fun. We had prize patrol, which basically everybody gets like a little raffle ticket, and I had 5 different little prizes like stamp sets or embellishments from the January through June mini catalog, and I gave those away. And then we also had 5 bingo games that we played. The first 4 were regular bingo games, and they all had like 3 things in them, like paper or stamps or embellishments, and they were all different new products from the mini catalog that we gave away. And then the 5th game was the coverall bingo with the big prize. It had a gift certificate and stamp sets and embellishments in it. And then if people wanted to purchase extra cards, they could for $5, and then we added that to the gift certificate. So the gift certificate actually ended up being $105, plus they got all the little prizes that were in the bag with it. And then I had a raffle after that. So it was a lot of fun. So, and the raffle was free. All they had to do was fill out like a little paper with their name and put it, and I had this cute bumblebee bag that's an on-stage bag that demonstrators can purchase, and I gave that away as my raffle gift. So if you haven't had a chance to go to StampCampWithJen.com and see the recap, go check it out. I've got lots of pictures. Unfortunately, I forgot to take pictures of the swag bags. Everybody got swag bags. They each got the Sunshine and Rainbows DSP, that's a celebration item. They got the little sparkle sequins, and I forget, and then the Abstract Beauty ephemera pack was the other thing. Everybody got that. So everybody gets, you know, a little bag to walk away with. So even if you don't win a prize, they still get lots of fun things. And then they get to do the make and takes, obviously. So you get 3 cards. We usually do that like we do game 1, we do a make and take, and then game 2, and repeat that through game 4. And then after game 4, that's when I get everybody that wants to buy extra cards to do that as well. And so everybody gets to kind of take a break. We don't do a make and take between game 4 and the final game. So people take a break, they buy extra bingo cards and things like that. So we just had a lot of fun. Everybody really liked it. And then I announced my next Stampin' Bingo, which is going to be even better because we're going to do it right before the annual catalog starts. So I am going to use my pre-order privileges and pre-order stuff that customers won't even be able to purchase, and I'm going to give those away as the prizes for the annual catalog Stampin' Bingo. So if you're in the Bellevue Villages area in Florida on April 30th, please join me for Stampin' Bingo. I have all the details on my website, so if you're interested, go to StampCampWithJen.com. You can see all the information. Hi Kay, thank you for joining me tonight. Happy Monday. And I'll have a little flyer that I'll share here as well. But it was a lot of fun. I love bingo so much, and I think you guys are really going to like the cards that we're going to do today. So let me flip the camera over so you can see my admin stuff here, and then we'll get into the cards. I think you're going to really enjoy them. All right. So let me turn my light on here. Extra light is always good. So Today is the last day of January, so if you haven't taken advantage of my January free gift, go ahead and place an order if you need any supplies. And my January free gift is either, it's a Simply Chamois, a pack of pastel pearls, or the gorgeous grape ribbon. Or you can wait until tomorrow and use my February host code. Those of you that are watching the replay, it is February as you're watching it. So my February free gift options will be a roll of tear and tape, the Adhesive-Backed Hexagons, or the evening Evergreen Windowpane ribbon. This ribbon's really pretty. I just made a card using that. The Tulip Explosion card, we use this ribbon. It's very pretty. So if your purchase is at least $50, you'll get to choose one of these along with Celebration, because Celebration is still going on through February 28th. So you'll still be able to get free items through the end of February with your purchase. And if your order is under $150, use the host code. If it's over $150, don't use the host code. You'll still earn a free gift. Plus you'll get Stampin' rewards, which are like coupons towards free items. So you definitely... It's really good to get a $150 or more order because you get to get more free stuff with your order. So it's really great. Okay, so take advantage of that. And then starting February 1st, this All Together collection will be available. So you'll be able to order this. Those that are watching live starting tomorrow, those that are watching the replay, you'll probably be able to order this after. If you're watching the replay, you'll be able to order this now. So you can get... there's the like skin colored Stampin' blends. There's 6x6 paper. You can see it better on this page. 6x6 paper. There's a bundle here. And then these skin colored Stampin' blends, which are really neat. So if you are curious, if you just type in All Together collection on my website at stampcampwithjen.com. You can see, because some of these items are only available while supplies last. Some are carrying over to the annual catalog. And then some Stampin' Up! Predict will be available through the end of May. So I have the complete details on my website if you're curious about that, okay? And then, real quick, so... this is my little flyer that I passed out at my bingo event for this annual catalog Stampin' Bingo that I was talking about. And like I said, go to stampcampwithjen.com and check out all the details. I listed them today, which January 31st, you should see a blog post for this as well. So it's $45. My team members get my events half off. And the money is due April 1st. And like I said, the prizes are going to be... all the prizes, like the prize patrol and the prizes for the games, are going to be brand new products from the annual catalog. So you'll be able to potentially win stuff from the annual catalog before you can even order it. So that's always fun. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the make and takes that we made for bingo. I was so excited about these. I designed all of these all by myself. I was very proud of myself. I've really been trying to push myself more and more this year to design my own cards and not really copy other demonstrators or case them too much. Sometimes you just see something that's really cute and you want to case it, so there's nothing wrong with that, but I just am trying to be more original, I guess, this year. So this is my favorite in color, my favorite color in general. This is Magenta Madness. Anybody that knows me knows I love hot pink. So this is my favorite color for sure. So I don't have the samples because I actually gave those to one of the ladies that wasn't able to attend. I put the samples in her bag for her friend to drop off to her. So you'll be surprised at the end of the demonstration what this looks like. So for this card, we're using the For the Record stamp set. This is a really cool stamp set. I thought it was really fun. And I was really excited when I saw this one, actually, because I've probably told this story a million times. My daughter asked my husband for his records when she got her own apartment. And we had just bought her like a record player the Christmas before. So my husband was like, oh, cool. She wants some more records to listen to. And then we went to her apartment and she had put nails in the wall, all over the wall, and hung the records on the wall as decoration. And I think my husband almost had a heart attack. He was like, what are you doing? I thought you were listening to them. And she's like, no, I wanted to decorate with them. I thought it was cool. It did look pretty, but he was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? So all the measurements are going to be on my website, stampcampwithjen.com, when I post the replay video on my website. And if you're watching from YouTube, look in the description below and you'll see a link to the blog post that has all the measurements for these. So I took a piece of basic white, and I haven't labeled this yet because this is very new, but this is the Merry Melody 3D embossing folder. It's really cool with all the music notes and everything. I thought it paired perfectly with this stamp set. So I went ahead and ran this through the embossing folder. So one tip that I always share is whenever you emboss something, if you notice there's this little line on the embossing folder, if you open it up and put the paper underneath and line it up against that black line, it'll keep your pattern straight and even on your paper. Somebody shared that with me years ago, and I just thought that was brilliant. So I always try to share that little tip with people. So make sure whenever you emboss, you open it up and kind of look through that folder and line up the edge of your paper with that black line before you put it down, okay? So I've already run that through, and whenever I do kits for an event like this, like Stampin Bingo, I always try to emboss and die cut as much as possible, so I don't need to bring my embossing machine or any extra tools, because you really don't want to fuss with that when you have a big event and a lot of people are trying to make the same card at one time. So so if you look at the notes, it looks like some are upside down or right side up, so I don't really know if there's a right side up or an upside down. It looks like really you could do it either direction and it would be okay. So I don't think it really matters. I'm not a music person though, so if there's somebody out there that is, and you notice that there is a specific way, please leave a comment and let me know. I'd love to hear it. Okay, so we're just gonna put that flat on a piece of basic black. And then we're gonna put that on our card front. Easy peasy, right? What have you guys been up to today? Is it warm where you are? I know there was a big winter storm that was supposed to be coming around in the northeast area. Lots of people were supposed to get snow. It was pretty chilly down here. It was actually 39 degrees this morning when I took my son to school. I was shocked. It was really strange. Let's see where my other little piece went. Here we go. So I have another piece of basic white and a piece of basic black. So I'm going to stamp on this, but I wanted to point out, and then I have this little rectangle piece. This is actually a die cut that I got from the Give It a Whirl dies. This little die cut is perfect for this card. So this little piece here, it's actually like a window opening if you use the dies to make a card with this. But you can die cut this little rectangle. If you just put it on a piece of basic white, it die cuts this rectangle out, and it's the perfect size for our sentiment. Sue said it went either way. Yes, Sue did say that. Sue, that comes to our classes, her husband plays guitar, and she said that it can go either way. It doesn't really matter. So, all right, so we're gonna let's put this aside, and we're gonna take our Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And I already have the stamps. So I just want to show you guys real quick. I don't know if any of you guys have been to a bingo event or you host your own, but I found these little pencil pouches, and I just keep all of the supplies that people need for the card. I put them in here, and then I put the kits and the little pouches and everything in like a shoebox, a little plastic shoebox that I got from the store. And that seemed to work pretty well. And I figure if it doesn't fit in this pencil pouch, then it's too complicated for make and take. That's kind of my reasoning behind it. So, All right. So I have the record with the cute little heart inside. I have it on a Stampin' block, and I'm just going to take my Tuxedo Black and ink it up right. Instead of putting it in the ink pad, I'm just kind of using the ink pad to kind of smush around. And if you want to test it, I always give people like printer paper to use as scrap, and sometimes it's a good idea to test. See, it's not really coming out very dark. It's okay if it doesn't, though. I kind of like how it looks. I think it looks kind of like grungy a little bit. If it doesn't come out all the way, it's okay. But we'll try to ink it up a little bit more. My pads are getting a little dry, I think, too. That might be part of it. But I'm just going to go ahead. I think that's fine. And I'm just going to center it right inside my square here. Best I can. That came out pretty good. Not too shabby. All right, and then we're going to take, this is the Light Magenta Madness. Oh, hi, Sylvia. Thank you for joining me. Sylvia is one of my friends from Maryland. We used to go to our friend Debbie, before I became a demonstrator. My friend Debbie used to teach stamp camp classes in Maryland, and I used to go to her classes, and I loved it. And Sylvia was one of my friends there, and we just looked forward to it every month and just loved like catching up, getting to know each other every month and like catching up. That's what I love about like stamp camp classes. You just kind of form this friendship, and it's a really great social thing, I've noticed. And I loved it. I used to take off work to go to stamp camp, and my coworkers all knew, oh, you have stamp camp coming up? And I said, yep, I won't be in tomorrow. I was very fortunate enough to have a job like that where I could kind of adjust my schedule when I wanted to, and I made stamp camp a priority because I needed that for my own sanity. It just was very nice and relaxing for me, so I really enjoyed it. All right, so we're just going to center that on the basic black layer here. So you'll have a little bit of a frame, and then we're going to pop this up. But before we do that, let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. So the sentiment, which is also from the For the Record stamp set here. So we used the record with the heart, and then we're going to use the You're My Favorite song from that same set. And we're just going to stamp that again in Tuxedo Black. So I think for all my cards, I didn't use more than like 2 ink colors. So I tried to keep it very simple. So let's stamp that, make sure. I think it just needs a little bit more. I think that's good. And then we're just going to center that in there in the little die cut from the Give It a Whirl dies. And look, that fits in there. That's the perfect size. I love it. I was so excited. I just think it looks really finished when it's die cut too. So, all right, so now we have all that stamping done. So now all we need to do is pop everything up with dimensionals, which I think gives it a little bit of pizzazz. And then we're gonna add one little embellishment, and then this card will be done. I had so much fun designing these cards. I just thought they were super fun, super cute. And I don't know, sometimes I go a little crazy trying to make things like way more complicated than they need to be. So it was kind of fun to just, to try to come up with something that was a little more simple. And sometimes that can be a challenge just as much as a really complicated card, believe it or not. So, all right, so I just put 3 little dimensionals on my sentiment die cut, and then I put 9 on the bigger one, and then we're just going to take the backing off. So what I did, what was easiest for me was to take the record and put that on the card first, and then kind of center the sentiment underneath it. So we're just going to kind of center it towards the top, so there's about an even amount of space on the top and the sides where the record is. So you're just kind of centering it towards the top like that. So it's kind of evenly spaced towards that top frame there. And then we're going to take the sentiment here, And we're going to center that under the record here. Okay. Last little pizzazz we're going to add here are these matte black dots. I love these too. I use these quite a bit actually. And I just wanted a little bit of dimension here, a little bit of something something. So I'm going to take this little, because there's two sizes, there's a large and a small. So the small matte black dot, I'm just going to cover this little hole in the center there with that and kind of finish it off. So that's what I did for that one. So that's card number 1, using the For the Record stamp set. So that's this one, okay? That's our first card that we did. Now we'll move on to the second card. And I think this second card was almost everybody's favorite, which was pretty funny. I went around and asked everybody as we had the event which one they liked, and I would say probably 2/3 of the people at the event said that this one was their favorite. So I'll show you this one. Move all my stuff to the side here. So for this card, we are going to use the Easter Friends stamp set. Thank you, Roberta. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. So this set, I fell in love with this set when I saw it. I love the little bunny, and the duck is so cute, and this little chick, and I love this like scripty font. That's really my style. So, and I've seen so many other demonstrators make really cute cards with this, so I was really excited to get this one and play around with it. So we're gonna use, we have a basic, the thick basic white cardstock is our card base, okay? So we're just gonna fold that in half. I pre-scored everything. I always try to pre-score the cards for everybody. I think it makes it easier to fold. And then we'll just burnish with our bone folder. And then, so I actually didn't cut everything down all the way because I wanted to show you guys real quick how I cut this paper. So this piece of paper is actually a 5.5 inch square. So 5.5 by 5.5. And then I just cut a 2-inch piece off the left side. And this piece we're actually gonna flip over and put down on our card. And then for the front here, we are taking this die cut from the Basic Borders dies. This is, it's a stitched, like curved die. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab my Big Shot here in a second, but I just took the die cut and kind of lined it up right along that edge here, and I'm gonna die cut like a little border or a little like stitched rounded edge off the side. You wish you had that set in the dies. It was very cute, Roberta. All right. So let's bring in our Big Shot really fast. Like I said, I wanted to have everything done as much as possible before you guys got on here, but I really wanted to show you how I did this piece so there is no confusion. So, like I said, we're just taking that curved border and just lining it up right along that edge, making sure it's even from top to bottom. We're running it through our Big Shot. And I want to remind you guys, Stampin' Up! Did say that they're working on the magnetic plate for the mini and standard size Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, and they announced that as early as the annual catalog, they could be launching it. So stay tuned for more details. I was really excited about that. So, all right, so see, you're just taking a little smidge of that border off, but now you have this beautiful stitched rounded edge, okay? So let me get that out of the way. All right, bring you back down. All right, so we'll go ahead and do that. So it's really cool that we got, you know, we're using the same paper. I just flipped this one piece over, and we're gonna put that down. It's gonna come right to the edges, just like that. And I just loved this tulip. This is the Flowering Fields Designer Series paper, which is also from the mini catalog. And I thought it paired perfectly with this little bunny because it looks like he's just sitting in the field. Oops. I did not line that up. Oops. I peel it off. Luckily I use seal, so if you slowly pull seal off, you probably won't rip it and it'll easily come off. But it will kind of curve when you do that. So I always just kind of bend it back the other way. Not a problem. I'm gonna move this to the side so I can see it a little better. There we go. Because you really want to get it to the edge and not over the edge like I had it. And just rub it back on there, no problem. All right, and then this piece is just gonna go right over the top, and since we have that curved, it kind of gives your eye, like, it draws it to that edge and gives it a little, it's just a little interesting having the curve instead of a straight line. So, and then we have enough of an edge that it covers the rest of the white right there. So we're just gonna take our seal. There we go. Hi, Joni. I see you snuck on. Say hello, girly. What are you up to today? Alrighty. All right. So isn't that fun? You got that pretty flower background. So now we're going to do a little bit of stamping. So for these pieces, this evening evergreen ties in really nicely with that paper. So I use the layering circles dies for this one. And the pieces you need, I believe, so it's the second largest scallop circle and the second largest plain circle or solid circle. Hi, Joni. All right. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna take this, ooh, sorry about that. That was a little loud, I dropped it. We're gonna take this adorable bunny and we're gonna stamp him in crumb cake first. And that's another reason I love this set is that you don't have to color the stamp set. I think that's really cool. You can just stamp it like we'll do here. Oh, that's drying out a little bit too, it looks like. You can just stamp it in a color and then you don't have to worry about coloring it. So let's see if that's any better. Yep. Need to re-ink this one. I think it got used a lot. All right, so we're just gonna stamp this bunny so his head is towards the top of the circle. Just like that. Isn't he so cute? Oh, I love it. Love it, love it. All right. So we can actually, I'm going to take a little bit of liquid glue. Anytime I'm layering like little circles where I might need to kind of shift things, I like to use liquid glue. So just a light layer of liquid glue, and then we're going to put this on the evening evergreen scallop circle there. And I'm just going to kind of rub my finger along it to kind of flatten that glue out and spread it out underneath the circle. You never want any big gobs of glue under those circles. Just like that. Oh, isn't he darling? That's probably one of my favorite stamp sets right now. And we're going to end up putting him right here. I'm going to go ahead and just pop him up with some dimensionals. Love those dimensionals. And then the sentiment we're going to use is from the same stamp set. I tried to pick one that wasn't really Eastery or specific to Easter because I know not everybody sends Easter cards. So I'll show you here in just a second. So I'm actually going to do it pretty much towards the center there and kind of leave a little bit of a border off to the side. And then the sentiment I'm using says, "May your days blossom with joy and happiness." I figured that's perfect. You can use it really for anything. It could be for a birthday, thinking of you, anything like that. So I really wanted to do that so that people could, you know, you could put something on the inside that's specific to what you need it for. And so what I did was I took little strips. These strips are 3/4 inch wide, and that's like just perfect for stamping this little sentiment on here. So we're just going to ink that up in Evening Evergreen and try our best to stamp it right in the center there. Oh, that's good. It's hard to do when the camera's right in my forehead. So sometimes I like to be able to see right on top of it, and sometimes I can't do that. So that works out great. And then we're not going to really do any fancy edges here. We're just going to trim it straight down right along the edge. Those who know me know I love to do a little banner edge, but for this I just kept it real simple. And we're going to pop this up. We're going to put it a little bit over the bottom here, and we're just going to pop it up right under the little bunny there. These dimensionals are getting a workout today for sure. All right. So we're just going to put that right under the little bunny. Okay. And then for our final flourish for this card, I took some champagne rhinestone basic jewels. I thought they really tied in well with the colors for this card. And we're just going to add a few to the card front to kind of give it a little extra glam. So I just put like one here, and one there. And then where did I put the other ones? Maybe here, and here. How cute is that? I love it. All right, so that's card number 2. I have one more for you guys for tonight. Like I said, you can see these are all very easy to put together. And this one, like I said, was using, let me grab it real quick. This is the Easter Friends stamp set. That's what we used for this card. And that Flowering Fields paper. It's gorgeous. Okay. So now, last card we're going to do is another one that, they're really all my favorites, I think. I don't know if I could choose. So this one is using, I was so excited when I saw this set. This is the Happy and Heartfelt set. I love, love, love this set. It has so many pretty fonts. It has everything from Father's Day, baby, love you, you know, everything you can think of. I just really like it. Oh, thank you, Kay. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. So we're going to make this card using that. This paper is the Daffodil Delight, I believe it was called. It's a celebration paper that you can get free with a $50 order. So we have a basic black. So you'll notice my other cards go side to side. Well, this one goes top to bottom. So I don't normally make cards that way. I'm not sure why. I just normally make them where they open from the side instead of come down from the top. But this one worked out really well. Okay, so we've got the basic black here. And then we have 2 strips that we're going to put on the edges. And it was kind of funny. My mom was giving me a hard time about this, and some of the other girls at the event, because when I took the picture, you'll see when you look at my blog post, the background is really dark because I normally take my pictures out on my patio set. It's like a dark brown color. And so when they made the card, they thought the background was part of the card, and so this, like my mom's strips, she had like some of the black showing like this, so there was a little black border because she thought the background was part of the card. And they're like, next time maybe do a picture on a white background so we can see where the card ends. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that's good feedback. I guess it is a little difficult to tell, but they still turned out cute. It didn't matter. All right, so we just put those strips right along the border here. And then we're gonna take this pattern. This is also, both of these patterns are from that Daffodil Delight paper. And we're gonna just adhere this to this Pear Pizzazz. And we're just going to put it, there's going to be a little bit of a border. I think it's a little long. That's okay. I'll just trim it real quick. But again, for the sentiment, I picked something that could really be used for anything because I wanted people to be able to, you know, adjust the card to their needs. So I tried to make it pretty generic. So we're just going to center this right over those border strips right in the middle there. Again, easy peasy. You always want to keep it easy if you're hosting, you know, some get together where people have to make the same card and use the same materials. You don't want it to be too confusing. And I didn't want to type up a bunch of instructions. I wanted it to be pretty easy for people to look at a picture and kind of figure it out. So, all right. And then for this one, so what the sentiment we're using is we have to celebrate this. I thought that was a good one to use because you could use that for any big celebration. So we're going to stamp this in Pear Pizzazz. And we have, these are very vanilla strips. And they are 1 inch by 2 3/4 inches wide. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment and Pear Pizzazz onto the very vanilla strip right in the center, just like that. Don't you love that? It's just so cute. All right. No dimensionals on this one though. We're just going to put this flat right on the card front. A little more seal here. We're going to put this towards the top here, and it's going to line up with the edge of the Pear Pizzazz layer. So it's just wide enough to go from edge to edge right there. And then the last little flourish for this one is the brushed brass butterflies. I love this pack. I think this, I was telling the girls at the event, this is my second pack that I've gone through. I just love them. So I'm just going to take one of these little butterflies. You could really do a little one or a big one. It's your preference, but I'm just going to take, oh, maybe I'll do a big one actually. I think a big one might be better with that space. I'll take a bigger butterfly here. And we'll just put it, oops, kind of off to the side right there. Just like that. And there's our last card. So again, this is using the Daffodil Delight paper, which is a free celebration item. And then we used the Happy and Heartfelt stamp set for this one. DSP is pretty. You can use it for, yep. I do love that you can use, I love when you can make a card and use the paper and that's the focal point. It's really cool. So let me show you all three cards together. And I would love to know which one is your favorite. I love hearing, you know, everybody's got different tastes and these are all very different. So I love hearing, you know, which one people like more than the other ones. So please, please leave me a comment and let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. If you are new and are just stopping by, please, you know, say hi, let me know how everything's going. The bunny, yep, Roberta. That's what most people like. This was their favorite. But if you're new here, welcome again, and please like and follow me on Facebook and like and subscribe to me on YouTube. If you need any of the supplies, please purchase them through me, Jennifer Roque. Oh, thank you. Most people are saying bunny. Thanks, Sylvia. I'm so glad you like the cards. I hope that you enjoyed this presentation today. And please, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me. Don't forget about annual catalog Stampin' Bingo. If you're going to be in town, reach out to me if you have questions or you'd like to sign up. So until next time, be safe. Have a great week. Stay warm. It's been very cold at most parts of the country. And I'll see you next week for another fun presentation. Bye, guys.